Well, thank you for having me here.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
our
It's a
pleasure.
beautiful day out, out here in Whiting. You got all the mascots going, all the exhibits lit up. It's fun to be here and share a little bit about Whiting, share a little bit about the mayor, and then talk a little bit about the Mascot Museum. But tell me first off, right now, what's the state of Whiting? What are you really excited about leading Whiting?
Exciting about the future development possibilities we have. We've just signed a contract with a developer to build 10 single-family homes on Center Street. We're on the verge of signing a contract with a developer to build a condominiums across from Oil City Stadium.
Okay. Perfect location.
Oh, yes, I believe so. I want to stress owner-occupied going forward. We've acquired some properties in different sections of the city, demolished some properties, and usually older rental units,
Yeah.
and we're going to rebuild with new single-family homes. We're very excited about that. In the next few months, we'll have 2 commercial corridors completely open for development on the boulevard, on Indianapolis Boulevard. So a lot of development. We're planning on a lot of development in the coming few years.
Pretty exciting time.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about stepping into this role a couple of years ago. You're obviously very familiar with city government, having participated for so long, involved in so many other organizations within the city. Tell me about stepping into this role and what the last couple of years has been like. It's been a very unique challenge for every mayor everywhere. Tell me about your personal experience.
Just stepping into it, had some challenges like any new mayor would face. The advantage, like you said, was I've been involved in city government in one form or another since the 90s. So the background really helped. You always are faced with new situations and different challenges. But I love the job. I love the community. I love the people in the community. If that's not your motive, then you're in the wrong business.
The challenge that you talked about that you get faced, or mayors face all the time. How do you have a particularly positive mindset? Your city is known for fun and enjoyment and parades and festivals and fun on the lakefront and the museum. How do you balance all that fun with, you got to run a city and you got to make sure everything works great. You got to work with your business partners.
Sure.
How do you balance all that?
It is a balance.
It's not all fun, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no. I think the events coming back to full steam are very important because of COVID. And I think that really helped the community spirit, because with everything shut down in COVID, and then finally we're back. Last year we got to a normal schedule of events. This year will be even more. I think it's great for the community. Like you said, we've always prided ourselves on events. The business of the city is the business of the city. It's a nice ebb and flow. It's a nice balance. The events, I try to attend as many as I can. It's just great to see people enjoying themselves, families, everything.
For somebody that's not living or in and around Whiting all the time, tell me, who's Whiting? What is Whiting?
Whiting is a very proud, tight-knit community. I mean, when you move in, we try to make you feel as welcome as possible. It's a unique place geographically and otherwise. It's a small community. It's got a hometown feel, but it's 15 minutes from downtown Chicago in a major metropolitan area. We're proud of our business district. There's not too many communities around here that have that small town, old-fashioned business district. We do everything we can to improve on it. White Castle just is finishing a major investment, over $2 million, to build new.
Very popular online, by the way. I see loads of comments about the White Castle.
And we're building an outdoor plaza in the area of American Trust Insurance, if anyone's familiar where that's at, next door. That'll be a place where people can relax, grab a bite to eat outside, and just enjoy the scenery of downtown.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about the background where we're sitting here in the museum. What does the museum mean to Whiting, and maybe why are you so excited to see it fully back open again and getting filled up with people this summer?
It's an integral part of our community. Obviously, it's unique. It's the only place like it in the whole country. We're proud of it. Obviously, COVID didn't do it any favors. We've been coming out of that. Last Friday was Good Friday. Karen texted me about 2:30 in the afternoon, our executive director. There was 375 people in there on Good Friday because parents were off, children were off. That is just a statement of how, as more people have found out about the facility's used, it's enjoyed. I've been to many events here, adult events like a Black Hawk watch party. You see adults enjoying themselves, and then obviously you're here for the kids, the children's events, and you see the little ones having a great time. That's what it's all about. When there's a parade in town, or like the Easter parade we just had on a frigid Saturday.
Yep.
But
Whiting still comes out.
Oh yeah. Great.
I mean, no matter the weather. I mean, Pierogi Fest could be 95 degrees. You know, your Easter parade could be 35 degrees.
And it was that day, I think.
Yeah.
And just to see the smiles on the children's faces, the parents with the children, people enjoying themselves. That's what's all about to me. I mean, you know, or a large part of what it's about.
What connected you to Whiting? I mean, obviously as a resident, but what made you get involved in Whiting back in the 90s?
As a young man out of college, I ran the family business, and you'd hear people talking about different things going on in the city or what they wish would go on in the city. And I just became interested and involved. And being in a small community, I thought getting involved, you can make a difference. You can make somebody's life better, try to help somebody. That's what I always enjoyed of being an elected official in this type of small community, because you can really, most everybody knows everybody here. You can really make a difference in somebody's life and see it firsthand. I don't know if I was in a larger community if I would have gotten involved, but a small community, the vibe, the interaction's what I like, and to see the positives and see people happy because of the positives.
It grabs your heart.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
And it occupies your mind, of course, but it grabs your heart.
For sure.
The last question I'll ask you is, we're obviously a unique bird of our own in terms of being an only positive news media outlet. If you think about building a Mascot Hall of Fame in Whiting, it's probably one of the craziest ideas anybody ever thought of, and said, that'll never work. When we started 14 years ago, people were like, only cover good news? Like, there's no way that's going to work. What is it about positivity that you think is at the root of Whiting, that's at the root of this museum, that's at the root of why you serve?
And I compliment your organization for their interaction and their coverage of Whiting over the years. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
We're honored to do it.
Positivity, I think you have to reflect on the positivity of a community. You take its strong points, you try to improve on it. It's so easy today to dwell on the negative in so many aspects of life. The positive is what drives the future, I believe. If there's negatives that need to be corrected, so be it, but you've got to accentuate the positive to move forward, to keep moving forward.
And that's not Pollyannish. Like, there is, people ask me all the time, well, you're a good news guy, what's the ratio? And I say, what? And they're like, well, what's the ratio? What's the ratio of good people to bad people? It's like overwhelmingly high. It's just the bad people get the attention.
Exactly.
But the ratio in real life is astronomically high.
Agreed. The good people by and far the largest number in this community. The amount of volunteers we get for events to help out. There's a strong spirit in the community. There always has been. We just want to continue it and build on it.
That's awesome. Anything you want to touch on specifically in terms of developments that you're excited about, upcoming events, anything that if you were given the state of life today in Whiting, what would you be telling me?
I'd like to touch on a couple things. We just signed an agreement with a developer last week. We're going to be building 10 single-family homes on Center Street, right by the railroad tracks. We're on the verge of signing an agreement with a developer for a condominium development across from Oil City Stadium. We have, past few months, we've purchased some properties around town, mostly older rental units. We're going to demolish them and build new single-family homes. And probably within the next few months, we'll have 2 complete strips of parcels, land available on Indianapolis Boulevard for commercial development. So in the next few years, we are going to focus on development, residential and commercial. That's my main focus going forward. We are right now, starting this week, we're going to work on our revetment, our lakeshore. It was damaged years ago. We have the funding in place now and the blessing of the Army Corps to do that project, so we're going to start that. We're dredging our harbor as we speak. We're a little behind on that over the past year or so. We're trying to play catch up, and we're starting to do that this spring. Events, Pierogi Fest, Empanada Fest, 4 symphonies in the park, 9 concerts on Sheridan Plaza this year, plus the Elvis one, so I think there'll be 10. All sorts of events this summer. I know
Cruises. You got so much going on.
Yeah, I know I'm missing some events. Those are the ones that registered today.
Maybe last question I would ask you is, a community is sort of a gathering of partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's an engagement. Tell me, if you would, any of the nonprofits or the schools or the churches or the other organizations, the volunteer groups that actually make Whiting run.
Oh,
I mean, there's 100.
Yes, the chamber's very involved as far as with the events downtown, which helps out all the vendors. We have organizations. We'll be having our Memorial Day service coming up, obviously, in a few weeks. But our Veterans Day ceremony, the Legion and the Sons of the Legion always donate to our food pantry and other charities. There's interaction. Everybody looks out for each other in this community. It's a great feeling. Our one parish I would like to mention specifically, or a church, Sacred Heart Parish. Father Jay has become an active member of the chamber, as Father Andrew has at St. Mary's. And Father Jay has agreed to be our chaplain for police and fire. First time ever we've had that. And Sacred Heart is organizing a cleanup among members to help clean up 119th and other areas of the town, like a litter pickup.
Yeah.
Like a volunteer group. So that just shows the groundswell and the thought and care that organizations have in this community. Many examples, there's one of them.
People in Whiting care a lot about Whiting.
Exactly.
And obviously, you drive down Main Street. I was telling these guys on the way over, I'm like, Whiting is very proud to be Whiting.
Oh, yes.
And it's a great city, and it's nice to see it show visually so much.
And sometimes when it's right in front of you, you don't like anything, you don't appreciate it as much. Because, living here, you get comments from people. And then I wish sometimes they could hear what I hear from people that don't live in this community that come to visit, how positive it is.
Yeah.
And how, hey, we're happy to be here, the lakefront, this, that, and that always energizes me. To hear the positive comments. You know how strong the community is and how nice it is, but it's always good to hear it.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate immensely you
My
making
pleasure.
the time for us today. Thanks for hosting us here. And we'll stay in touch with all your events throughout the year.
Thank you. Anything we can do to assist your organization, we'd be happy to help.
Awesome.